Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Jack, Conrad, 45, Champions League? We say that with a question mark because last time out, all three of these clubs that are fighting for those top four positions kind of laid an egg. Stumbling over the finish line, much like we think Villa will.
Nobody really wants to make it. It seems like it's always been like if one team drops points, none of them kind of capitalize on it, and if one team wins, they're all kind of like, all right, we got to keep pace, guys. Let's keep it up. But now we've got a Champions League qualification decider between United and Leicester, and then Chelsea with an equally tough match against Wolves.
Who want to stay in the top six?
It's really going to be a tremendous final match of the season, final two matches of the season, because obviously all these three teams have it in their hands. If you get a result, you get a win, you're in. And that's all you could really ask for on the final day of the season.
I mean, the Chelsea match against Liverpool was a bonkers game. United just did not look very good against Hammers. Leicester have just been disappointing in their last 12 to 14 matches, and Spurs, conversely, they're fighting for those top six positions as well.
They're
right?
trying, and another thing is that usually when we see Manchester City's recent dominance in domestic trophies means that it's the top seven for Europa League. But with Arsenal, who are eliminated from qualifying for Europa League through the league positions, they're in the FA Cup final. If they win the FA Cup final, seventh place does not qualify to Europa League anymore. It's Arsenal. So Spurs and Wolves will both be saying, well, we don't want to be stuck in that awkward seventh spot where it's not in our hands anymore. We want to get that final result. So Spurs have that motivation against Leicester, and Wolves will have that motivation against Chelsea. So it's not going to be a walk in the park for Chelsea at all, where they're going to be saying, like, we're done, we're in. It's going to be a case of they have to get that result in the end, or else they could be surprised.
So our first match is Chelsea home to Wolves. Obviously, as we said, Wolves fighting for that top six place. Chelsea looking to solidify their position in Europe. And they can also get through. No, they would get to Europa League if they won the FA Cup. They wouldn't get into Champions League.
Yeah.
But I see Wolves coming out hungry here. Chelsea have been another one of those teams up and down lately. You don't know which team is going to show up. Christian Pulisic obviously playing very, very well for them, but I think Nuno's got what it takes for them to get it over the line.
Yeah, I think that Chelsea. It's funny because we kind of mentioned that table briefly. We kind of glossed over it, but out of the three sides, the one who are the most porous defensively are the ones looking at an £80 million attacker to add to their ranks, and that's Chelsea. They have a lot of defensive issues. I think Kepa did not cover himself in glory in that Liverpool game. But I think,
or much this season at all.
I think what they realize is you bring on Pulisic, I don't want to say it, but he's like an Eden Hazard for them. It's his first season in the Premier League, and he is absolutely killing it, and he has been just the central piece of Chelsea. And if they start him, I think they will. I think he's going to have a good performance against Wolves.
It's talismanic.
And I think it's just going to be a case of just put more past than you can concede. It's not going to be a great defensive performance, but they're going to try and end the season on a high. I think that's the way I see it in terms of this match at Stamford Bridge.
Next up is Leicester home to Manchester United, and we both have this one 2-1 to Brendan Rodgers' side. He knows how much his days at Liverpool, probably still doesn't have much love for Man United, looking to get one over on them to secure themselves a position in the top four. But Leicester have really been not very good. They were 14 points clear of fourth place at one point, and they've squandered it. It's been atrocious their last 12 to 14 matches.
It has been atrocious. And they only have themselves to blame that they have to come down to this match for it to matter if they can get the Champions League or not.
One win in any of those other matches,
and you're fine. But they couldn't manage to do it. United, I think they'll also say it's tough to obviously say let's win every match, but they've dropped some matches they probably will look back on. The Southampton one, and then the West Ham match they just had most recently. Well, they'll say that was a bit of a stinker of a match. But I think we both kind of see this, that Leicester will have the result. At the same time, United, even if they lose this match, they may be saved by other results. But I think that Jamie Vardy has had a tremendous season.
Going for the golden boot.
I think he'll secure that golden boot with this match.
He'll get the brace?
I think he will. And I think he will secure it for Leicester because they know that if they can get this result, then look at that. Back in the Champions League again for the first time in 5 years. So
when we look at the final table, we've got two slightly different results here. That puts Leicester in 3 and United in 4 for me, Chelsea and Leicester for you. I really have a hard time believing Chelsea are going to fall out of the top 4. I mean, that's what I'm saying is going to happen, but I don't know that I believe that.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where it's, again, last match of the season. We've said it multiple times. can someone just have a performance? Can someone step up in the biggest moment and perform for you guys? For Leicester, it has I don't want to say the biggest implication, but they have really no other route of getting into the Champions League. United do through the Europa League, and Chelsea technically do. They're 3-0 down in their second leg match against Bayern. Don't think they're going to come back in that one, but it's a
Although they've been off for a long time.
it's a greater
Bayern.
than 0% chance of them qualifying, even if they are finishing in fifth.
Very interesting final Sunday. A lot to play for, both at the top of the table and the bottom of the table, and even those 6 and 7 spots. So we shall see what happens. That does it for us for the final Champions League positions. Jack, Conrad, this has been the 45. Please like, subscribe, find us on the Twitter at the 45. Take care now.